Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a Right Royal Jam. I'm still waiting on Lady Laticia. She's got her timings mixed up, which is fine. This is what happens sometimes. Hope you're all well in the side chat. How are you, Kaza? Thank you for joining us. Christine, yes, you made it to a live. That's brilliant. I've just read your message on here. Just heard Andrew got demonetized on YouTube. What did he get demonetized for? If you want to write it in the chat, that would be great. Because I haven't heard anything from anyone. I hope you're all well. Hope you all had a nice weekend. A few bits in the news today, a few things to talk about. I've got to put this disclaimer up as well, just to cover myself. Yes, so today we're going to be talking a bit more about Andrew. I've got a few articles to read out. Being on time is a virtue. Yes, I know. Well, this is the thing. I like to be on time, but it doesn't always happen, does it? This is the problem. Let me just take this off. Right. So, yes, please remember to hit the like on the way in. Just waiting on a yeah. So what happened, Christine? I need the news. Tell me what's happened to his channel. And well done to everybody that won the competition. I just need 2 more addresses and then I can send it out. Kaza, you can send me your address as well, and I'll get that sent out to you. You'll be very disappointed when you receive it. You might laugh. There you go. That's fine. Right, we're going to start off with an article today. Lady Laticia will be joining me in like 10 minutes, so she will be here. But I didn't want to keep you guys waiting for ages because that's not a very nice thing to do. Right, let me just get this this article up. Right, so Prince Andrew is weaponizing his daughters Princess Beatrice and Eugene, says expert. Prince Andrew is pushing for his daughters to be promoted to working royals, and there is a reason why. Now, I actually thought this before that he was doing this, the way that they were getting more and more invites into royal occasions and royal events. Get Queenie on one night, Vic. Yes, I will try. Okay, Christine, Gilbert, Andrew Pov was just on Meghan's Mole and broke the news. He said it was for using content that had already been shared. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know about that. I have to find out. I am in the royal group chat. That must be copyright then. I don't know. It's very difficult to navigate YouTube and to know what you can and can't do sometimes. So I'm always a bit wary of what to sort of put out here. It's a bit scary, isn't it? But I'll keep reading it anyway. So Prince Andrew is no longer a respected member of the community, but he has yet to come to terms with it. Instead, he sees his daughter as a way to make a comeback, says one royal expert. Andrew agreed to do a sit-down interview with Newsnight, which resulted in him being stripped of his HRH title and royal duties. We know that already. So he's working on a joint biography revolving around Andrew and Sarah Ferguson's marriage. I mean, the thing is, thank you for my, yeah, I love you with my natural hair crown. Thank you. It's great. I don't know what to do with my hair, so I have to just shove it up. The thing is, if he's doing an autobiography, it's just going to be another disaster, I think. I think in a way, his mindset's a bit like Harry's. Really pompous, thinks he knows everything, very entitled. It's going to be the same nonsense as Spare, as far as I'm concerned. I can't see it being a very interesting. Well, it'll be interesting, but it's definitely not going to be a thought-provoking book. And if it's a tell-all book, then I mean, well, at least we've got a lot to speak about on here. But I really, really don't know why he's doing that, especially after his terrible interview that he did, and the Netflix documentary that came out, which didn't show him in a very good light at all either. So he says, Andrew and I don't. So it says here he sees an opportunity with Kate and the King being ill. Oh dear, that's awful. And a little bit of a gap in that generation to use his children as weapons to get back into the royal family. So he said he's always wanted his daughters to be working royals, and Beatrice and Eugene recently attended a Buckingham Palace garden party hosted by their cousins, which we know about, to test the waters. He's also, I've read a few articles, he's also trying to use the fact that Harry and Meghan are no longer around to push his daughters further into the royal family. So he's really using some kind of opportunity when people are weak and people are down to push for his daughters to be in the forefront. Now, the problem with that is he will be the master putting the strings behind his daughters. And do we really want him having more control and more power and being a dedicated royal, working royal? I personally don't. I don't trust him now after what happened with the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. And I think he doesn't come across like a genuine person to me anyway. That's my opinion. According to the royal biographer, William is trying to bring in other people to help with the engagements, like the York sisters, but their slightly tainted parents have been compromised by some really shady people, like Beatrice's ex-boyfriend, but then because he died of a drug overdose. Okay. There's been a talk of Beatrice and Eugene being upgraded to working royals, but Mr. Loney does not believe this to be the case. He said the girls are not necessarily the way King Charles would like to present the future of the monarchy, and they have girls. Their girls have a lot of free holidays, and have not really held down proper jobs. They basically milk the system almost as much as their mother. Ooh, yeah. No, I'm not really happy about this. I don't think many people will be very happy about this over here either. I do think he doesn't really deserve to come back in the fold. And I don't know if any of you guys in the chat have watched The Windsors. That's comedy. It's quite funny. Have a look at it if you can. It's on Netflix, and they just take the mick. But it's in good taste, most of it. But the girls are taking the mick out of quite a bit, and they're kind of regarded as quite simple and quite naive. I don't know if that's true in real life, but it does feel like if they're like their dads, then they're a bit out of touch. Andrew and Sarah are still living together, and they're separated in 1992. However, and now they're living together again. And following Sarah's very public romantic entanglement with an American businessman, they officially divorced in 1996. However, she's now back on the scene, and she's going to be helping Prince Andrew write his autobiography. So we've got that to look forward to, and we've also got Prince Harry to look forward to writing another book. Imagine that. The Windsors is a funny show, Lisa B. And thank you for sending me your address. I will message you back later. I'm going to send everything out this week. Kaza, I think Kaza doesn't want to share her address. I think she lives in a very secret location. That's why she doesn't want me to know. It's okay, Kaza. I'll just send you my love instead via live stream. So, guys, what do you think? I mean, in the chat, what do you think Prince Andrew should be doing at the minute? Do you think he should be writing a biography, an autobiography? Do you think that his daughters should be part of the working royal family again? There's all these whispers going around that they're going to be back on board, that he's pushing for it. He's using the opportunity of King Charles being sick. he's using the opportunity and he's taking advantage of that, and Princess Catherine being sick, and the rift between Prince Catherine, Prince Harry, and Meghan, is using the rift to basically cream his own agenda. And I don't like that, you know. According to my sources, and tell me if I am wrong, he cost £4 million a year to be kept, just because he's a royal. And because he's not a working royal, what is he doing to earn that £4 million? Not a lot. But I have also heard that King Charles is now going to be evicting him from the lodge, which is good news because he doesn't need to stay in a 30-bedroom mansion. He does need to be downgraded, and if he wants to come and live in my house and we can swap and I can let go live there instead, that would be great. So I'm just pleading with you, King Charles, if you fancy giving me the property, I'll happily take it. But he's now going to rent it out for 1 million a year, so he's going to use it to generate money. Now that shocked me slightly, because I thought he was going to give it to Princess Catherine and Prince William. Yes, I have kids, but they can run around. They've got a bit massive garden. We can all live there. Obviously, I don't want to live with Prince Andrew. Jesus, no thanks. But you can get a lot of cuddly toys for 4 million. You can, and I'm sure he's probably got like a room full of cuddly toys. I dread to think what he does with them toys at night time before he goes to bed. I think it's wrong to evict. Wrong. Well, it's not like he's going to be homeless though, Queenie. I think he's probably been given fair warning. I think he's going to be had enough time to sit on the idea of leaving, and I'm sure they're going to put him somewhere else, somewhere that's, you know, a decent size. He doesn't need a 30-bedroom mansion, that's for sure. Or maybe he needs it for his teddies. The collection has got very big. Yeah, so I'm not really entirely sure what that's about, but I really don't want the girls in the forefront, because that means he's going to be behind the rest. He's going to be behind anything that he wants doing. It's almost like he's going to be the puppeteer within that situation. Frogmore has 5 bedrooms. Oh, he's not in Frogmore, sorry. He's in a different lodge. So Frogmore is smaller. I think that's where he was meant to be going. He was meant to be in Frogmore. But I've forgotten the name of the lodge, if anyone remembers what it is, but it's not Frogmore. They wanted to put him, such as, in Frogmore, but they wouldn't, he didn't want to go there. He didn't want to downsize. Nobody, for some reason, wants to take Frogmore. Maybe because of the size of it, maybe because it is quite small for royals. But that's where Meghan and Harry were, and I think they always assumed that would be their base when they came back, and it doesn't look like that's going to be likely. But I think he will be put into Frogmore. That's it. Is it called the Royal Lodge Casabert, or is it called something else? Oh, it's completely gone off my mind. Let me Google it. How many lodges are there? In fact, does anyone know how many royal lodges there are? Be interested to see where he'd be moved to. It is the Royal Lodge. Thank you, guys. Yeah. So he doesn't need that. And I heard that Princess Catherine and Prince William were going to move into the Royal Lodge, and they were going to be he was going to be pushed into Frogmore. But there's still loads of renovations to do on this property as well. It's pretty much falling apart. It needs a lot of work doing on the inside, and it needs a lot of work doing on the outside as well. They did mention they were going to offer it to the Waleses, but I have read today that he's going to be renting it out for £1 million a year, which has surprised me slightly. So I'm not too sure why that is, but we will find out Yes, that's that where he lives now. The Royal Lodge is where he lives now. Yeah, yeah, that's where he lives now. But they want him out, him and Fergie, because they're living together again. Are they actually back together? Um, it feels like they are. And a lot of people saying, "Oh, they're just friends." I wouldn't be giving it up. No. Well, most people wouldn't, would they? I wouldn't want to give up a 30-bedroom house either if it was just given to me. He's in a Royal Lodge, but he doesn't want to move to 5 bed yet. That's it. Perfect. Thank you. We put all the pieces together. All tarot readers mentioned months ago the Wales will be moving to a bigger property. Well, how many lodges are there? Does anyone know? Fergie Oates. Oh, God. This is why you guys are winning prizes, because you're funny. Okay, that's why I like it. All right. Okay, we're going to move on to the next part of what I have found. So it was yeah, Casafacts, yeah. So bloody many. Right, okay. So yesterday was 30 years ago. Imagine this, 30 years ago, Diana's dress, her revenge dress was worn, right? So do you remember that dress that was black and low cut and quite tight? She had tights on, and then she had that really nice necklace that was like a choker, and it was like a blue stone. So she wore that. That was her revenge dress. Little black number to steal the limelight as her husband had confessed to the affair with Camilla. So she wore it on the same day. I just can't believe that revenge dress was 30 years ago. Can you imagine? Like, how has that time gone? It's insane. I'm going to read the article to you guys. And I want to get your opinion on this revenge dress. Like they talk about a glow up when you find out your partner's cheated or you've left them. And yeah, there you go. That's it. The sexy revenge dress and Charlie snog Camilla. Yeah, like she sold it. She did really well with that. She's like iconic dress, iconic look. And she knew exactly what she was doing. But yeah, I wanted to get your idea and your opinion on, how to bounce back. I think we want to talk about how to bounce back. When Lady Laticia comes on, we're going to go over it again, but I'll just read the article to you anyway. So Princess Diana's revenge took the form of an on-off shoulder form-fitting silk dress that made history when she wore it 30 years ago. On the night Prince Charles admitted to his affair with Camilla, Diana slipped on the little black number by designer Christina Stambolian to send her own message. As Charles revealed his sin to presenter Jonathan Dimbleby. In a TV interview, Diana wore the revenge dress as it was quickly dubbed for her attendance at a glitzy fundraiser at the Serpentine Gallery. Charles's conversation was hugely newsworthy, having been asked if he had been faithful and honourable. The future king said yes, before adding, until the marriage became irreversibly broken down, us both having tried. But it was Diana's response in the form of her choice of dress in a colour that the royal reserved for mourning, which made even more of an impact. Royal writer Tina Brown even described it in her 2007 book, The Diana Chronicles, as her fuck you dress, and her newspapers and all the newspapers at the time. Charles blusters as Diana dazzles. And I mean, she did look incredible. If I could show it to you, I don't know if you can see it there. Just a quick picture of her. She just looks absolutely amazing. And he must, it's funny, isn't it? She was a beautiful woman, but he just didn't have that feeling and attraction for her the way he did for Camilla. And as an objective and an outsider's point of view, I would have always gone with more of the, would have gone for Diana all day long. But it just shows you the heart wants what it wants. Diana only wore Stambolian's dress that night because rival designer Valentino had leaked that the princess would be wearing one of his designers, so making the last minute swap a dress that had sat in her wardrobe gathering dust for 3 years became the one of the most famous dresses in history. So I'm blown away with how long ago that was. 30 years ago. I just don't understand how that time has just passed us so quickly. Okay, so Mary Taylor's put, only way I'm doing a bounce back as if I get my ass on a trampoline. Well, yeah, I could do with some trampolining too. I think I've got to stop eating. That would be helpful. Victoria, the Guardian's details 18 king castles, estates and cottages used by King Charles and other royal family members. So that's interesting, Martha. So then there is a possibility he could be moved around to any part of the country, which I think he should be put in, somewhere that's very remote. Let's put it that way. I just feel that he shouldn't even really be being paid for, especially if he's not a working royal. And I know it's a difficult situation for the royal family because he is part of the bloodline, and he does, he was a working royal, and he was, a well valued member of the royals. But to be fair, after everything that's happened, does he really deserve such an upkeep? I mean, I personally don't believe he does. Do you think he deserves the royal upkeep? I mean, I just think 4 million a year, that's what he gets. For what? Why does he need 4 million a year? Sorry about that. Yeah, I will be quiet about the 30 years. But I read it, so I was just like, no way. It seems like yesterday. So yeah, so I'm just talking about today about the revenge dress, and I wanted to get your opinion on Beatrice and Eugene, and whether they should be back in the fold. No lords, no masters, no self-serve. Okay, I can't say that, Kaza. They are family, just the minimum sounds fair. Exactly, they are family, and the minimum does sound fair. But is that the minimum, 4 million? This biography as well is going to be quite telling, isn't it? It's going to give us an idea of what's really going on in his head. I don't think he could dig his hole any deeper if he tried. So having a book, is he digging his own grave? Hello there, Lady Laticia. I had to start without you. Unbelievable.
I'm so sorry. I was like, oh my God, hubby, I had the wrong time. I got
That's
the
all right.
wrong time. But hello, everyone.
Do you know what? It feels really weird speaking to the camera on my own. Got to get
Was
used
it?
to doing it. It's got to get used
Yes.
to doing it. It doesn't feel natural in any way,
Yeah.
shape or form. But speaking to you does. Thank you for relieving me of that.
You're so welcome. I'm so sorry I'm late. I was like, oh, honey, I'm running so late.
No,
I got
don't
my
worry.
time mixed up.
We're on a time difference, aren't we? So
Yes.
we've got to manage our times better over here, don't we? And it's difficult. I don't know what time it is where you are. What time is it where you are?
It is 1:30.
So yeah, so what's the time here? 7:35. I thought
Oh.
I woke you up when I called you earlier. You were like, hello, and I was like, oh my God, have I woke you up?
No, I was
So
up, but I was like, "Oh, that's Victoria. Let me get on." And I had my headset on, and I couldn't hear you. I was like,
oh
"Dang
yeah, because it was, yeah, I thought maybe the connection works. We're so far away.
it!"
So we've just been talking about Prince Andrew weaponizing his daughters, but
Oh,
we've kind of covered that now. But it was
okay.
just regards to him wanting to get back into the royal family fold. And I actually mentioned this quite a few lives ago, and I said this is what his intention is, and I
Oh,
foresaw it, like the psychic that I am. I knew
yes.
it was going to happen. And I just went, he's up to something. He's using it to his advantage. He wants
Ooh.
his kids in the forefront as a working royal, so he can pull the strings and he can have some involvement and some power back in the royal family. Because I reckon
Oh,
secretly he is hating not being a part from being part of the royal family like he used to be. I mean, what do
oh
you
yeah.
think, Lady Letitia?
Yes, I think he also feels like he should be a part of it, like he didn't do anything wrong almost. But I do see him trying to get back in there. This is the same one that doesn't want to get out of his big castle, and King Charles is trying to kick him out. That's the same Andrew.
Yes, 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 yes. We
Yeah,
were talking about the rehousing situation as well. He doesn't want to be downsized. Doesn't
right.
want
He
to be
don't
put
want
in a
no
puny 5 bedroom. It's too small for him, 5 bedroom.
yes, one person. But you know what? Honestly, I don't think I would want to live in Frogmore Cottage just because Meghan and Harry was in there. I don't want their
Do
leftovers.
you think it's what's the word? It's a cursed property.
Oh yeah.
Is it, yeah, is it cursed? But everybody that lives there isn't very happy. I don't know what's wrong
No.
with it. I need to go and inspect it myself and have a look and see if it's
Yeah,
any
go
good for
ride
anyone.
around there, Victoria, and see
Yeah,
what's
and I'll let
really
you know.
going
We
on.
could maybe go and like do a meet up there, podcast meet up at Frogmore. If it's
Yes.
abandoned, we can
Yeah.
have like a
A
party
tour.
at Frogmore. Yeah, tour.
A world
I
tour.
just so, yes, I can put Nikki as a blue tick, but what she'll have to do is she'll have to put a comment on the live after, like once it's finished, and then I can make her a moderator if she wants to be one. That's no problemo. Thank you very much, Nikki. It's haunted. It probably is. It's got
Yeah,
something
them
going
bad
on there.
spirits, Megan and her bad spirits. She had some bad spirits, and then there probably was already some in there from before, and then she went in there and added to the spirits. I believe it.
No.
I believe Megan brought bad omen in there, a bad vibe, a whole bad situation, because she went in there plotting and planning. Did you?
She did, but what someone needs to go in and do is sage the house. So we need to get the sage stick out
Yes,
and start wafting it around.
exactly.
They need like a cleanser of some kind.
I was gonna hire someone to come in and cleanse my house and
Oh, I'll
bless
do it
it.
for you. If you fly me out there, I'll do it for you.
Okay. Okay, we'll get you a ticket. We need some good vibes up in here, some good flowing
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. We do. We do. We need good vibes, good energy. Sound baths are all the rage at the moment as well. Have you ever done a sound bath?
No.
Oh, okay. So they say that sounds at different hertz heal your body, and you can actually get these sounds on YouTube, so you can listen
Oh.
to them. And there's different types of sounds, and according to some science, and I don't know how true it is, I don't know how well backed up it is, but apparently there's certain sounds that can cure cancer.
Oh.
Now I don't know how true this is. This isn't in your average. Yeah, it's this isn't under the guidelines here of the
Right.
medical profession. But do your own research. Have a look into it. It can't hurt, can it? To
No,
listen
it
to a bit of
can't
sound, not a good sound at night time before bed. You're not doing yourself any harm.
at
Why
all.
not try it
At-
out?
exactly.
I'm
Listen to
open.
some good
Yeah,
music and positive.
I'm I'm open to trying anything that keeps
Me
you
too.
alive.
Yes,
All right,
exactly.
okay. So, in other news, we've got this is like the mainstream media just listen to everybody that podcasts and just rewrites it. I'm sure they do. It's bizarre. Meghan Markle lacks self-awareness and doesn't believe the royal health concerns are her concerns. So she's verbally been
So
outspoken to somebody and said she's not really concerned about the royals being sick.
I
Now, we
know,
kind of thought that anyway,
right?
But what do you think of that?
Oh my God, I believe it 100%. I'm surprised it's stated. That's shocking that she's actually, she doesn't care. If she cared, Victoria, she would have never came out with the biscuits and the jam during the time when Catherine had
No.
announced her illness. It was very inconsiderate. And then even the comment that she made, about she called her Kate, which was to me, I'm starting to see like that's not her name. Call her Catherine, and saying that she hopes that she gets well soon. And our thoughts are. I mean, it was very vague and bland. Her comment on their cancer. First of all, she hasn't been over there to even see them. She hasn't mentioned it. She didn't say anything about seeing Catherine come out for the first time. Like, she could have said, you know what, it's good to see my sister-in-law out and about after her cancer scare, but you can tell the hate. Like, she hates.
Yeah.
It's a hate. It's more than just a competition, because Megan thinks she's in competition with the world.
It,
That's
it,
funny.
it, this, to hear it on the mainstream media that she's not concerned about the health of the
Yes,
royals by someone within their bubble and their social network has come forward and said this. It's not named anybody, but someone close to Harry and Meghan have stated that she's not at all concerned about the health and well-being of Princess Catherine and King Charles, and that just speaks volumes,
it's
doesn't it? I mean, we
yes,
we,
it
we knew this
does.
anyway. I mean, we're kind of aware of it, but for it to be written down in the mainstream media, because we
Yeah,
get the buzz all across the podcasting world, and yeah, that's great, but there's no kind of true affirmation to that. There's no sometimes things can get blown out of proportion on YouTube, and
yes.
we know that, don't we? And I try to keep it as grounded as possible. You
But
know,
she's
I try
always
to
on
try
the
to see
defense.
it from different angles. But if to read that
That's
today,
nice.
pardon?
I said
Oh,
that's
you
nice that
frozen.
you. Oh, am I
What?
frozen?
Yeah, no, you're back. You're back. You're back. You're
Okay.
back. Go on, carry on.
That you look at things uh in all perspectives. Like you're going to
Well,
give them the benefit of the
I
doubt.
try. I try to. I think you have to be a little bit. I don't like to be swayed too much with one thing and be definite on a thought, because things change very quickly in this world and things are not always what they
It
seem,
does
right? So I don't
overnight.
like to. Yeah, I don't like to have a definite answer.
But you would think that, because she watches social media, she knows if someone had a came out and said that about Catherine, do you think that she would come out and say, no, that's false information? Or, I mean, normally something that horribly said, because it's like you said, we know it's there. We see it every day, the way she treats Catherine, the way to me, out of all the family members, she hates Catherine the most. She
Yes,
treats
I
her
think
the
so, and
most.
that's that rivalry that you see women have a lot through, school, teenage
Yes,
years is awful for girls.
right.
I think. I think when you're especially, I mean, it's even worse if you go to an all girls school.
That's right.
The girls can be so
Patty.
jealous and competitive, and
Hmm.
it's a shame. It's not every girl, obviously. I'm at an age now where I've got some really
Yes,
good women around me, and we've got some really lovely women in the chat as well. We're building each
exactly.
other up, we support each other, but there are, it's been times in my life where I've not had that at all.
Right.
And I'm sure you've had the same, and that that competition and that rivalry is can get very, very dangerous and very,
It
very
can.
toxic. I mean, have you had any experience like that before? This a similar type of rivalry between you and somebody else?
It is so interesting that you mentioned that, because it's so true. Like something like that, like festering in you, that evil, that rivalry, that jealousy, that envy, that your life. you spend your life trying to be better than someone else, and you end up losing a lot of your life because you were so focused on someone else. Um, I had a problem with being accepted. Like I always felt like I had to prove myself to someone so they would be my friend. So I
Yeah.
was always in that category, like, I'm sorry, and trying to make people like me. That's where I was. But as far as people like Megan in my life, I would steer far away from that because it's an evil. It's like you can never truly be her friend because you really can never trust if she's going to reciprocate that. You don't know if she's going to throw you
Mm,
to the wolves, kick you out and
mm.
say, you know what, I done married a prince and it's over, move to the side. Have you ever had that experience with
Oh
someone like
God.
me?
Oh God. Yes. And the thing is, I really pick up on it very quickly.
No.
There's certain things people do that they don't realize they're doing, you know, and
Right.
it's this underhand, slick behavior. There's that passive aggressive behavior. Things in jokes sometimes, reveal themselves. They do say sometimes there's a lot of truth in a joke that says it's how you say it, how you do it, how it's
Right.
executed as well. You have to be aware of people's feelings, and if you
Yes.
care about someone. I also notice when I've had a very, very hard time in my life, the amount of people that leave. So when everything's going really well and you're happy and you're part life and soul of the party, and then when that changes, you notice who are really there and who aren't, and
Right.
that it's a good
Exactly.
thing. I think it
It
reveals
is.
I think the universe decides to take away what isn't meant for you, and
Right.
it's done me a favor because you end up going on a different direction, and it might be sad at the time, but you
Right.
you meet you meet new people, and you learn more about yourself, I think, as well. And that, everything I believe happens for a reason. I would rather know if people aren't really genuine than not
Right.
know.
Me
Wouldn't
too.
you?
Yes,
Yeah,
I would want to
exactly.
know instead of being fake and not being genuine and having someone jealous of you. It's, you feel a certain kind of way. If someone is jealous of you, you see it all the time because they're always
Mm,
negative. They're always
mm,
putting you down or saying something about you to try to make
mm,
you feel,
mm.
like them,
and
depressed.
and silence is golden as well. So if you
Oh, yeah.
achieve something and you're doing very well in life, or you've got done something that you're proud of, for example, and the people you mention it, or you maybe post it or something like that, and then you get nothing back, not well
Right.
done, nothing. They've seen it, but that silence speaks volumes more
It
so
does.
than anything else. But it's fine. And this is the world, the way of the world, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Hello, Multisetti. By the way, I just wanted to say hi, welcome back. Haven't seen you for a little bit. Let's go. I'm glad to see you too, guys. Thanks all for joining us tonight. Um, so yeah, back to Princess Catherine and Meghan. I think she's a very dangerous woman, Meghan, because but she really, really, you can be healthy, you can be in competition with someone and it can be healthy.
Yes.
Um, because they kind of
Yes.
they can be your someone you want to strive to be, yeah.
Right.
And so that they're like, you put them on a pedestal and you work towards that. So you look at someone and go, wow, you're doing really well doing this, I want to be like you, but not feel hate about it.
Right.
Just be in
Exactly.
awe of that person and be like, wow, I really want to be
Celebrate it.
as successful as you are, and I'm gonna even image myself on you to
Like a
be like that.
mentor.
That's almost a form of flattery, isn't it? If someone wants
It's
to
very
be
much
like you,
so. Hmm.
yeah.
I
But
love that.
when the nastiness is where it becomes quite dangerous, and I
Very.
think if they weren't in the public eye and her behavior, she could do a lot more underhand things because she
Oh,
wouldn't be.
yes.
Yeah,
I believe so too. Yes. I think she would do a lot more. evil because I can't get over the fact that her and Obed Scobie got together and decided that the best course of action was to name Catherine and King Charles as the person that had a conversation that she wasn't even privileged to. And it just goes to show the hate, the attack, the constant vitriol that's coming from Meghan. And what I learned from Queen Elizabeth, which I love, is to never explain, never complain, never explain. Like I took that and applied it to my life, and Catherine does it so well. She ignores Montecito so well that you can hear the jealousy, the envy, the negative coming from there. Even now, with her saying that she doesn't care. Like you said, we knew that Meghan doesn't care about Catherine or her being sick. Of course not. And we didn't need a note or someone inside to say that because her actions shows it. Her action shows how she literally can ghost you, kick you out, throw you to the curb, and act like you never existed in her world. And it's painful for a lot of people that, like her father and her family members, and even the royal family. The royal family is probably trying to figure out where the hell she come from, like, like what, like where did this evilness
You know,
actually?
I think, you know, it would be, however colourful her past was, that really isn't the problem, is it? I think we've
No,
all got pasts that we probably would like to keep in the closet, some of us, you know, or everybody's lived a life and they've had a journey, but the way she behaves is the more of the issue than anything else,
right.
because I'm not really bothered if she was a yacht girl or not. She was
I don't
young,
care.
probably impressionable, and she made a mistake. I mean, you know,
Exactly.
she probably, it wasn't her finest hour and she probably
Right.
regrets it. But it's how you move forward from that, and it's how you behave and conduct yourself from there forth. And the behaviour has been the problem and been the issue. I could quite easily not blink an eyelid to what she's done in the past. She could have
Right.
been, you know,
Who
selling meth out
cares?
of the back of a van, and I really just wouldn't have cared. You know what I mean? It's not. It's, you've done it, you've done it, you know,
I
whatever.
agree.
As long as you're not doing it now, Megan. As long as you're not selling meth out of the back of a
Right.
van now, Megan, then I'm
Exactly.
fine.
But that is so true. Like I don't care about, I've never talked about her yacht days or even
No.
that because honestly, I don't care. You know what I look at most, Victoria, is like you were
Mm,
talking about her personality, who she is today, how she has who she's portraying herself to the world. And unfortunately, she's not able to hide the evil because when
mm.
you hurt someone deliberately and everyone else knows that you're hurting that person, but you don't know within yourself, it's something sinister about that.
It is. And I think, unfortunately for her, you can't hide your personality if you're on the world stage. It comes out. You know, you can act. So we can all act, but you know, there's the true facade comes off in the end. You know, you can't keep up the momentum forever. It's exhausting to be something you're not, and I just couldn't think of anything worse. Listen, I've got no time or energy for it. And
Right.
people that do put on a different act, I think that, boy, how tired are you?
Right.
Because I'm just, you know,
Exhausted
I'm
and keeping up with the lies. How do you keep
it's,
up with how do you keep up with it? Like it's 24/7. And then, Victoria, when you're lying, you got to keep that lie going. And then that lie, you forget who you done told the lie to. I
oh
think
yes, oh yes. Once you start with one lie, it's a web of lies, and then you're right. Um, it becomes a thing where you have to remember what you've said and what you haven't said, and
Yeah,
you've got to
that's
have a very
very
good
true.
memory to keep that going, right? It's just too
Um,
much.
Queenie just,
I knew someone that used to do that a lot, but because they were drinking, they would lie, and they would
oh,
forget what they said, and
yeah,
it was one of them kind of situations. Definitely don't start spinning a tale when you've had a drink because it'll come and
right.
bite you back in the ass.
Yeah, like who told you that? I told you that. Yes, you were drunk when you said it.
So I have got another article, and this is Meghan Markle regarding the Beckhams again. Just moving back to the Beckhams because this Tom Bower book is very much in the forefront over here. It's kind of news. I do need to read the book actually. I think it'd be quite interesting to do a live on that. But it
Yes.
says here Meghan Markle ordered Prince Harry to ignore David Beckham at Invictus Games 4 years ago. Um,
Oh,
so she, it's just all these things are coming
I
out.
know.
It's
I believe it
very,
though.
very controlling. David Beckham's subtle revenge on Prince Harry and Meghan for alleged snub at the Invictus Games. Well, we knew that the book as a tell-all claims that the Duchess ordered Harry to snub David Beckham during the 2018 Games, a move described as a brutal blow for the soccer player. But here's the twist. The book also suggests Beckham's responded 4 years later in a way that might have left the Sussexes fuming over the move. David Beckham and his wife Victoria once thick as thieves with both royal princes and princess. While their bond with William remains strong, things abruptly went south with Harry. Rumours are strained that the relationship skyrocketed after Harry's wedding, and Tom Bower's book, again, The House of Beckham, Money, Sex and Power, adds fuel to the fire. Took a brutal turn for the worse, and apparently the book mentions that in October of the same year, the Games event organised by the Royals in Sydney, Beckham, who was invited, found himself isolated, so he didn't have anyone to talk to, unable to go near the Duke. This incident made him realise that something was amiss, as he was kept
Oh,
away from the prince on purpose. Arriving on the agreed day to meet Prince Harry, he was perplexed while officials were playing a dance to keep him happy, but away from Harry. And Beckham found himself alone at the game stadium. It was said that he
wow.
inquired. Yeah, I know, right? It was said that he inquired about the reason he couldn't spend time with the royal, only to supposedly find out the prince had clearly stated that the footballer was not to be allowed close to him in any way.
The control. Wow, she's control his friends. She tells him who he can hang out with and who he can't hang out with, who's going to be his friend in the future, and who that's her 24/7. Like how rude. And I
Well,
bet
in the book, it says the exclusion order is later transpired that it was issued by Meghan. She did not want any competition in the media from Beckham, and especially from his wife Victoria. So once again, this plays into the whole narrative of her being threatened by another beautiful woman.
by
I
another
think
woman.
personally, and people are going to hate me for saying this in the chat, I do think she's attractive, not as a human being, but physically, she's an attractive human. So
I
why is
used to
she
think
fit?
so.
Do you think so?
I
I mean,
used to.
maybe, yeah,
I used
maybe
to think
her characters comes
that's
through.
what
It doesn't necessarily make her look attractive. Like there are some very beautiful women out there, and they're beautiful because of who they are on the inside, and it shines
yes.
through like a beacon of light. But she is royally threatened, excuse the pun, she's royally threatened by any woman that is half
Beautiful.
attractive.
Mhm.
Have you noticed this? This
Yes,
is a running
very much
theme,
so.
right? So
Yeah.
that's why she didn't want Victoria Beckham. next to her in the games because she didn't want her to take the limelight.
That's it.
I mean,
That's it,
don't you
Victoria.
have enough limelight already? You
Saying like people
know,
are already gonna look at you because you are the Duchess of Sussex. It's just gonna happen when you walk in the room. Even if you're in the back row, Megan, they're gonna shine the light on you. How does she not know that? Like when she first got stepped on the scene, she was the it girl. Everybody wanted to know who she was and where she came from and what she was about. And now, like you said, when you said that she's attractive, I used to think so. In the beginning, I was like, wow, she's beautiful. She's gorgeous. Um, Harry has got him somebody that's got it going on, and this is going to work out really good. But then, as you get to know her and watch her at the Invictus Games, at the Royal Tour, fake Royal Tour, you start to see like the fake, how fake she is. And she's not attractive to me anymore
and
because
I
of the
get that she's not attractive because of her behaviour, and this is what happens with people that are beautiful on the
right.
outside, and when they're ugly on the inside, it kind of takes away that
It
image of you
does.
being an attract. It does, and I've seen it for myself. I've seen beautiful women that look great, and then they speak and they act, they behave a certain way, and it just takes away their whole demeanor, and it takes away that light that they had when you look at them on face value. And
Right.
it's the same with men as well. Some
Exactly.
men are
Oh
like
yeah.
that
They get
too.
jealous of other men.
um
Oh yeah.
it's everybody being nice is part of being attractive, being
Right.
friendly, being loyal, being
That's
being
very
kind
difficult
is
for
an
her.
attractive quality. So she's not got any of that going on,
Right. She
so
doesn't.
it's sucking her beauty out of her. And the not being able to be herself, I think it is another issue, is that there is a huge facade. She's very worried about how she appears. She's very concerned about how she comes across when
Mhm.
the cameras are on her. Everything's kind of staged and managed,
It's very
so
staged.
you're not naturally coming through as a human being or a person
Right.
that is actually you can connect with. And how do
Right.
you think that boundary can be broken down?
Well, that is such a good question. But like you said, the statement that you made, um, her just being a person that we can't relate to. No one, kids can't even relate to her. No one can relate to her because she's fake all the time. So we really don't know. All we know is the sinister part. So if there
Mm,
is a beauty in there, some kind of kindness or anything inside her that reeks of kindness, we should have been and saw that by now. But it's not, it's
mm.
totally not there. Ask the question one more time, Victoria.
Sorry, I just put that out there and I didn't realise what it said. I think she baths Multisetti. I'm sure she washes. I've heard actually that Rihanna, it smells amazing. Have you heard about
Oh, I
this?
heard that.
She just smells like a goddess, and I just really just want to smell Rihanna. I know
I
that
do
sounds
too.
really weird, but
I
I'd love
heard
to just
that.
smell Rihanna and see what the fuss is about. I think the
My
sun's getting to my
goodness.
head slightly. I'm not used to this weather. So, according to, so there is another article. I'm just gonna. What did you say to me again, Lady Letitia? Want me to repeat something?
Yeah, you
A
asked me a
question.
question and about Megan. About, do you
Um,
think that she will ever, you know, let's
well,
ask this question. Will she ever
yeah,
change?
to lower her inhibitions and stop putting on the pretense, because
No.
that's no. I think you can have a little bit of an outward. Everybody goes outside, right, and has
Yes.
a kind of a greeting face, or
Yes.
I don't know, they put their best side forward when they go out. And at home, you can be a bit more looser with who you are, and we all have our moments, you know, that's just part and parcel of being
Uh,
human.
yes.
But I think sometimes when you're completely trying to change who you are and put on a completely different persona, is that mask ever going to slip? Because it's such a hard thing to
It
uphold.
does to me.
It's really, really hard to uphold, especially if
It
you're,
is.
you know, I mean, I
It's
just don't
hard to keep
understand
that lie
how
going.
you can carry it on. And
Mhm. It's hard to keep
yeah,
that
yeah,
facade, to keep up that
it,
facade, that fakeness that I'm this wonderful person. This is what I want you to see. I'm a philanthropist. I love kids. I love everyone. I'm here for charity work and all of this stuff. But
but
even
do
when
you
we're
think
work,
that she does mean some of that? Do you think there's a
no,
slither of a slit? No,
mm-mm. It's all
I
written
just
all over
try
her
and
face.
hope that there might be. You don't think
Yeah,
there's a
she
sliver
is
of
almost like
genuine care?
it's almost like watching her act in a movie. Every time I see her out doing something like Invictus, it's like she's putting on an act. I don't know. What the side chat, what do you think? Is she acting all the time? I think she's in her own
The
doomed
side chat are
fairy.
just completely confused that I want to sniff Rihanna. I think I think I've
I
just gone a bit crazy.
Queenie said,
Yeah.
let's talk about the people who keep giving her a platform. What do you think about that? I don't think that people are giving her a platform. I think that the people that are not on the $1 million mark. Like, well, Queenie's right. Like Jeff Bezos, she hung out with them. But even though she's hanging out with these rich, powerful people, it doesn't mean that she has
Well, she's
anything going
losing
for
all of her
herself.
celebrity friends. I don't think she's really got anybody
Right,
to kind of go to now. They've been shunned in a way because of their tell-alls. You know, they're throwing their toys out of the pram kind of situation. It's not the done thing to do, and we've spoken about this before. It's, you know, it's like you've got too much of this, and that would worry. I think because Harry even revealed that in Courtney Cox's house he took mushrooms, and I don't think Courtney
right.
Cox was very happy about that.
At
She was
all.
like, that's nothing to do with me. But you're revealing kind of what goes on behind closed doors, and celebrities don't like that. They like to keep their private life private. Most of them do, apart from maybe, you know, a few of them like the Kardashians, who are just reality stars, and they want all of their life exposed because that's how they make their money. But artists like Rihanna and, I don't know, any musician, they just want to be known for their music, not for what's going on at home, or any
Right.
actor even. You know, and this is why it was such a shock as well to see the Amber Heard and the Johnny Depp case, because Johnny Depp
Yes.
wanted to take that and put that on air. It wasn't it wasn't his Amber's idea. It was Johnny's, but
Oh,
that showed him in a bad light, didn't it? But
yes,
he came off the winner in the end because
he
he
did.
owned his mistakes, didn't he? He owned
Yes.
who he was, and
He
you know,
didn't
I think there's
lie.
just
He
this.
wasn't lying
Yeah,
and trying
exactly.
to hide. He
Yeah.
was like, I was a part of this relationship too. So I've done some things that I'm not proud of. But I really feel like she brought that back. People like Megan, I believe, bring out the worst in their partner. She brings out the worst in Harry because I believe she wrote the book Spare. I believe she orchestrated the whole Flop You series and the Oprah show. And she set the scene, she set the tone that, okay, all of this bad stuff has happened to me. I'm the victim. Please care about me more than the people that I'm trashing.
Mm, mm.
It's
No,
very sad.
100%. It, I mean, I don't think anyone's giving them a platform any, like, not the way that they had
Mhm.
originally when they came and broke away. Not as much.
Exactly.
Their kind of opportunities are few and far between. They're
Yes.
creating their own platform, which they can
Yes.
do on their own. They don't
Mhm.
really need anyone. I mean, us talking about them probably doesn't help, but any publicity is good publicity,
It
is what
is.
they say in showbiz. Okay, so lastly, we've got Sarah Ferguson penning tribute to my dear friend Princess Diana on what would have been her 63rd
Oh,
birthday.
happy
I
birthday.
know, she would have been 63, right? So
Wow.
Fergie previously told people that she and Diane have had a granny off. If the previous, they would have had a granny off. I don't know what a granny off is. That
I don't
sounds a
know.
bit naughty, doesn't it? If the
Yes.
previous Princess of Wales was still alive, Sarah Ferguson is remembering Princess Diana on what would have been the previous princess's birthday. So 63 she would have been. Fergie, as the Duchess of York, is a popularly known penned a tribute to Diana on social media on July the 1st, so she did it today, and she shared a photo of the pair standing side by side on the balcony at Buckingham Palace to watch the Battle of Britain's anniversary parade, which was on September the 15th, 1990. So there's a little picture I'll just show you of them
Oh.
standing together.
Oh, that is, I
Uh,
remember that picture. That is
yeah.
so beautiful.
And she put happy birthday to my dear friends, Diana. You're a pillar of light and love, and
Oh.
what a legacy you have left behind. Oh, I don't know, it's making me feel a bit
Wow, that's a
emotional. I don't
message,
know why.
isn't it?
I will forever remember our laughter and the kindred kind spirit I found in you. Oh, I'm sure you are
I
watching over us
know.
always. And this makes me want to cry.
I
Rest in peace, my
know.
friend Fergie. 64 concluded. Princess Diana and Fergie became royal sister-in-laws through their respective marriages to the future King Charles and Prince Andrew. But they were close friends since teenagers. So they've been friends since they were 14 and 15.
Wow.
And affectionately, and Diana used to call, Fergie, who affectionately called Diana Dutch. In fact, it was Diana who introduced her friend to Prince Andrew, so she made the introduction.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. And I said to her, "Oh, Andrew's really good looking." The Duchess of York recalled, and she said, "Duh, Fergs." Sarah and Andrew wed in 1986 and divorced a decade later, but remained amicable. We know they're amicable because they're living in the same house.
Yes, I thought
And
he looked good too. Andrew, I
what,
thought he
Prince
looked nice with
Andrew?
it. Yeah,
Lady
back in the day.
Letitia. No. As part of the royal family, Diana and Sarah would compare notes and offer each other support. Diana and I both had our own mental health issues, and she and I used to talk.
Oh,
She
wow.
said, "Fergie, remember one thing: when you're at the top of the pedestal, it's so easy to fall off," which is so true.
It
And you're up,
is.
and you're at the bottom, you just climb up. They were positioned as saints and sinner. So I think they were pitted against each other back in the day with the media. And
Yes.
the most important things was to remain robust together, and we did not falter no matter what anyone wrote. Do you know what? That's such a nice way to do our last discussion. I really like the fact that do you know, it
It's
makes me feel really
beautiful.
emotional reading that,
I
because
know.
she lost a good friend, and they were in it together, right?
They were
They knew the whole kind of
life.
the setup. They were institutionalized. They was within
Mhm.
that kind of. They were in the royal family
It
walls
was
together,
different
and they
then.
and they they stuck together.
They
I mean,
did. They
how do you
did.
feel? How do you feel about that message that she wrote?
It was so beautiful. It was, that's a message. I just think that that was heartfelt. It came from her heart. She really misses Diana. And I could definitely see how, like you were saying, the media could pin them against each other, but they stayed tight regardless. They stayed, good friends. They needed each other, because they were in the royal institution and they were outsiders. So I do believe that they needed each other to to help each other through it all, because no matter, you could have it all, you can be richer than, have as much money as you want, have the best husband or wife that you have, and you can still be miserable with that because you're going through mental stuff, like your brain is chemically just be like, you know what, I'm not happy. But to have a friend like Fergie to help her out through those times, I think is awesome. It was
I
a
think they did
tearjerking
fall. I
message.
think they did fall out before she died, but you know that
That's what I heard.
that's yeah. But you know what? I think you do regret that,
Yes, you
you
do.
know, having these little spats now and
Fact.
again with your friends, because you know you don't know what's around the corner. And I didn't realise Princess Diana is a Cancer. She's her star sign is a Cancer. I'm a
Oh,
Cancer too. It's my birthday in 17, no, 16 days now.
oh, well, happy
17th of
almost
July.
birthday to
Thank you. Well,
you.
yeah, we can have a celebratory birthday
Yes,
live if you
would
want. I
love
didn't
that.
realise she was a Cancer. That's interesting. Yeah, I feel
No,
like I feel like that their relationship, because they were together so young, it wasn't a false relationship. They'd been friends
right.
before they'd even met the princes, so it was
14.
almost inevitable that they stick together, right? And
Yes,
it's such a shame things, you know, such a tragic accident happened. I mean, what
yes.
do you think Diana would say today if she was here? How would you think she would feel about what's going on at the moment?
I think that she would be very disappointed in Harry and
Mm,
Meghan.
yeah,
I think that she would have a long talk with both of them. I think that I don't think that Harry would have married her. I think that he would have, I think his mother, I'm gonna play Diana for a second. I would be like, honey, I don't approve of this woman that you want to marry. There's something sinister here. We haven't met her father or her family. I don't really know her. So maybe you should think about dating her a little bit longer to make sure this is who you want, because you haven't you don't know her enough to say, oh, I'm head over heels. But Harry act like he went cuckoo for her. Like, oh, I'm just so in love. If she leaves me, I don't know what I'm gonna do. The world is gonna come to an end. Like it's
I don't think they would have even been together in the first place.
oh,
Things would have been a lot different. Do you not think? I think he might not have gone for her. I don't
I
know.
do
I
too.
think he's trying to draw parallels with her as his mum. So
Yeah.
he always refers to Meghan as similar to his mum, and he's looking for like maybe half a mum figure, half a girlfriend, half a wife, and
Yes.
that, you know, maybe because he lost her so young, he's
Yeah.
drawn to some, he thinks that she's like invoking his mother,
Yeah.
which is, that is in itself has some disturbing thoughts in my mind. but but you know, dating your parent is a bit odd.
Yeah. It is
But
bad.
and someone said the nomad said accident. I'm not going to go into the whether it was an accident or not. We know that it was a paparazzi, but we could do a live about whether we think it was an accident. I think this has been covered a lot though, hasn't it?
Yeah.
With the
I
Paris
think it
crash.
was an accident just for the FYI.
I mean, look, I do think there's a lot of fishy
Ooh.
details around it. There, if you look really deep into it, Lady
Closer.
Letitia, have a little look. I mean, we can
Okay.
speak about it definitely, but again, we have to be very careful what we say
Okay.
on YouTube when it comes to these things. But yeah, I do think we have to word things slightly differently, but there was a lot of conspiracy around that accident and how
Yes.
things played out afterwards.
So I'm gonna
And
have to look
everybody's getting
into
quite
the picture.
angry with
Ooh,
me in the side chat. Yes, I know.
no damn accident. Okay.
Yeah, but thank you guys for watching me and Letitia this evening, the Right Royal Jam. We've had a great evening with you. Thanks for joining us, Lady Letitia. And we should be back Wednesday night if you guys are around to. Do you want to join me on Wednesday, Lady
Yes,
Letitia?
I will definitely, and I will be on
I
time.
Lovely, no worry, don't worry. So I can speak to myself. I've got to practice anyway. So you done me a favour. I had to pull the band-aid off and start somewhere, didn't I?
You're
Um,
doing so
but I'm
great.
But we should have another panel member on, a different panel member on Wednesday. I'm not entirely sure yet, so I've invited 3 people on. I'm just waiting for a response. So as soon as I know, I'll put it in the community live. And your presents will be sent out this week once I've got everyone's addresses. But please dislike, subscribe, put the bell thing on to notify you when it comes
Yeah.
on, because I don't know if everybody gets a notification or not. Letitia's links will be in the description box. Is there anything you would like to add, Lady Letitia, or
Well, I
if
was
I
going
left
to
anything
ask
out?
you, do you
Yeah.
think that, do we know, or do you think Megan will come out and wish Diana a happy birthday just because? I mean,
I don't know. I mean,
yeah,
that is a good point. If her birthday's today, she would have done it already, surely. But maybe the
right.
time difference, it's not caught up. But yeah, it's a good point. If you do find anything, any articles about it, send them to me, Lady Letitia, because we'll discuss it on Wednesday as well.
Perfect.
But that is a good point. That maybe they would put something out. They should, but we'll just have to
Yeah,
see
we'll just have
see
to
what
see.
how detailed it is as well. I'm sure it'll be a
Last
bit long. Go on,
thing I
sorry.
would say is I want to thank the side chat. Thank you guys for coming on, spending time with me and Victoria. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys.
You guys are the best side chat ever, by the way. I love it, and I think you guys are really funny. I enjoy read. It actually puts me off of what I'm saying when I read it. I'm like, I've
Yes,
got to.
me too.
I'm on like a tan. I'm talking, and then I'm like, oh, I've lost what I
I
was
get
saying
so
now.
confused, Victoria.
Yeah,
I'm
because it makes
like,
me laugh.
yes,
It's
it
great.
was fun.
Thank you, guys. We love you lots. We'll see you on Wednesday, 7 o'clock. Yes, Lady Letitia.
Yes, 7 o'clock.
Okay,
Sounds good.
perfect. I will
Okay.
see you then. Take
Okay. Bye
care.
bye.
Bye. Bye. It doesn't end straight away. I don't know why.